Hello, I'm Christopher Rice. Welcome to Cyber Focus, your source for international business information. I'm eager to introduce our guest today, Dr. Sandra K. Johnson. Dr. Johnson is the founder, CEO, and CTO of Global Mobile Finance, Inc., a fintech startup company based in Research Triangle Park, North Carolina. She's also the founder and CEO of SKJ Visioneering, LLC, a technology consulting company. In her previous work, she was the Chief Technology Officer of IBM Central, East, and West Africa, based in Nairobi, Kenya. She possesses bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees in electrical engineering. Along with authoring over 80 publications, Dr. Johnson has received numerous technical and professional awards, as well as over 40 patents issued and pending. Today, Dr. Johnson will discuss her startups and blockchain technology in Sub-Saharan Africa, as well as diversity in STEM fields. Sandra, thank you so much for joining us.
It's certainly a pleasure, Chris, to be here. Thank you.
Sandra, can you tell us a little bit about Global Mobile Finance? What's the overall mission of the company, and what are some of the products and services you're offering?
So Global Mobile Finance is a fintech technology startup. We are developing this remittance application called GRemit. It's a relationship-driven remittance global application, and it's based on blockchain technology and mobile money.
Perfect. What would you say are some of the biggest challenges that you've had when creating a startup that deals with these complex industries and technology and global finance?
Well, as with any startup, the initial focus is developing the product and then going out to seek investment from angel investors and venture capitalists to grow the company. So if you can imagine developing a mobile app with a focus, because GRemit does focus on Sub-Saharan Africa, using new technology on top of that, with new regulations that are changing even as we speak, it becomes very problematic to convince investors to take the high risk, if you will, and develop in global mobile finance. But we have been able to find investors who are willing to do that. But it's been a challenge, and it's been very time-consuming, but very rewarding, we think.
How long has it taken you to get this off the ground?
Well, I started in June of last year. I had SKJ Visioneering that I focused on initially, and then began to focus most of my time on GRemit June of last year. So I actually developed the application itself, so it's working. I still have to integrate it with a blockchain platform, but I had to stop that work so that I can focus efforts on raising funds to complete the development, added 2 additional folks on the team as well. So it's very challenging, very time-consuming with the startup, but we believe this is going to grow to be a very large, successful company. So that's what we focus on, and that's what excites us and keeps us going.
Great. Sandra, can you talk more about the role that blockchain technology will play with GRemit in global mobile finance, how the model will work, and then on a larger scale, how blockchain technology is changing the world of business and kind of the opportunities and obstacles that come with it?
Well, I think I'll answer the first question, the last question first. Blockchain technology, I believe, is a game changer in the sense that it removes or minimizes intermediaries when it comes to, for example, transactions. So that lowers the costs. And it also enables data once it's placed on the blockchain. It's immutable. It cannot be changed without being detected. And it can be accessible if it's a public blockchain by anyone who has access to it. And just those 2 things can significantly change how we do things today. If you consider, for example, when it comes to real estate and the title search, if it's a public blockchain, anyone can check to see if a homeowner actually owns the house, right? So you won't need a title search company. Now, that may not be good for title search companies, but it's definitely good for everyone else in that ecosystem. So when it comes to GRemit, where we have senders who live in the West primarily, who transfer funds home to family members and friends in emerging companies. Typically, the cost for doing that are very significant because there are quite a few intermediaries. So blockchain either reduces or eliminates the intermediaries, and that drastically reduces the costs for sending the money, which is one of the reasons why we're using blockchain. And in addition, it's more secure than traditional methods for remitting funds. And we can also use the smart contract technology that's part of blockchain to foster more services for remittance that's never been done before. So we focus on a relationship-driven remittance model as opposed to just pure transferring money from sender to receiver.
Very interesting. Sandra, you have extensive experience working with African communities, and you've alluded to the technology so far. From your work, what are some of the most promising developments regarding technology that are going on in Sub-Saharan Africa today, and what are some of the largest areas of growth you'll see moving forward?
Well, there's significant work from a technology perspective that's happening all across Sub-Saharan Africa. In fact, in Kenya, Nairobi particularly, is called the Silicon Savannah, believe it or not. Lots of startups there. There is an entrepreneurship ecosystem there. What attracted me to Sub-Saharan Africa as the initial source for the receivers for GRemit is mobile money itself. In Sub-Saharan Africa, as well as in most emerging countries, the vast majority of the citizens are unbanked. They do not have bank accounts. They do not have credit cards. But a significantly higher fraction of them have access to mobile phones. So the mobile telephone service providers there created this financial account that's associated with a mobile phone number. So the account number is your mobile phone number. You can send and receive money on your phone. And so I used mobile money when I lived in Nairobi. It is very popular there. It's amazing that in a cash-based society, there's very little cash because everyone uses mobile money. So I got the idea. Blockchain was at the peak of its hype at the time. I was thinking about what is it that I want to do. So I combined remittance with blockchain and mobile money so that the recipients receive the funds directly into their mobile money accounts. They don't have to worry about going to pickup locations. Sometimes it could be difficult to reach the pickup location. But the technology itself, mobile money, was created or became a commercial success in Nairobi, Kenya. And now there's a large technology ecosystem that's associated with mobile money that we in the West, most of us here, are completely unaware of. But it's a very well established, and it continues to grow in East Africa, and other parts of Sub-Saharan Africa, and also other parts of the world.
Well, thank you for informing us. You refer to yourself as a hidden figure. It's clear at this point women, and particularly those of racial minorities, are underrepresented throughout these STEM fields. Why is this an important issue to address, and what actions can be taken to help reduce the gaps we're currently seeing?
So I like to answer that question using an example that's a little outdated, but it still makes the point. So years ago, 20 years ago, for example, when I worked for IBM Research in New York, and there were folks in the lab testing out a video phone, right? That was unique at that time. And so there were visitors who came. They saw the demo of the video phone, and I saw the demo too. So I began to ask questions like, can you turn the video off if you want to? And so the researcher said, well, no. And I said, well, why not? I said, well, why would you want to do that? I said, well, you know, if I don't have on the right makeup, or if my hair is not done, you know, if it's in the morning, I don't want someone to see me. I may want to talk to them, but I don't want them to see me. And they said, oh, we never really thought about that. Right? And I think that brings the point home that if you bring together people from diverse backgrounds who come and they sit at the table at the design stage, you're going to create a better product, a better service, a better offering than if you had a homogeneous group.
Right.
So from a business perspective, you want to make the best product, or any other perspective, you want to be the best. And a better way to do that is to have diverse points of view, people from different backgrounds seated at the table to participate in the development of whatever it is. So it is very important as a result, if you want the best, and of course we all want the best, to have people from diverse backgrounds to be at the table.
Sandra, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
That's all for this edition of Cyber Focus. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any comments or suggestions for future topics, please let us know at CIBER, that's CIBER, cyber, @indiana.edu.